Darktrace is a British AI cybersecurity company that utilizes artificial intelligence to protect enterprise data and tackle cyber threats across organizations. Now, riding on the AI wave, Darktrace is in a very good position to become the go-to name for AI governance for legal teams across the corporate world. While they're obviously focused on growing their business, but the Darktrace legal team never forget to have a good day along the way. So Keiko, I want to start by you, right? I heard that you were quite the sports star before your legal days. In fact, you were Japan's top junior tennis player and then Asia's #1 in paddle tennis. That's quite impressive. And I'm a strong believer in drawing life lessons and inspirations from sports. So I was wondering, how do you think those competitive sports year has rubbed off the way that you're building and nurturing team culture today at Darktrace?
I think that's a really interesting question because I think they're really linked because it is ultimately about how you win. And so through my sporting background, that was my focus. How do I get from A to B and how do I win? The hardest part about winning is to win consistently, to keep winning. Because to keep winning, you really need to always come up with the best version of yourself and give it the best. And to consistently do that, I think is a really hard thing. And I think the key to doing that, to keep winning, to continue to win, is by having fun. Because when you're having fun, you're having fun. So you really enjoy being there and performing at your best.
So Mel, I want to ask you, how do you see fun as a core principle being translated to the day-to-day operations at Darktrace?
Life does throw us all sorts of challenges, and we've all been through personal and professional challenges over the years. But having that fun, that little injection of lightness, being playful towards each other, having a joke, those are the things that make you want to show up for work. You enjoy your colleagues being around you, and it just makes your days go by a bit lighter.
What's the funniest thing you've done as a team?
The funniest thing we've done as a team, where does it start? Well, I could talk to you about when I first started at Darktrace. So Keiko is quite notorious for pranks within the Darktrace legal team. And in my first week, our general counsel at the time, Richard Eaton, someone that's based in the UK, I sent an email to him saying, "Hi Richard, thank you for the opportunity, very excited to be on board." Keiko responds to that email just to me and she says, "Oh, just so you know, you should always address him as Lord Eaton. Because he's a lord and you want to make good first impressions in your first week at Darktrace." So I very quickly scrambled back, typed a quick email saying, "I am so sorry. I was not aware I had to address you as Lord Eaton. That was my mistake. I will make sure that I will address you as Lord moving forward. But please accept this as my sincere apology." To which Richard responded and said, "Haha, I think you've been pranked."
Now I want to look at some of the more challenging side of the operations at Darktrace. So what kind of hurdles is the team dealing with these days, and what's the plan in place to tackle them?
The biggest challenge is adapting to constant change at Darktrace because we are a hyper-growth company, and with growth, that means that there'll be change. And change is something, for most people, that is something that's hard to tackle because change means that there's uncertainty and that uncertainty can be, sometimes an anxious response for some people.
Is there any trends, promising trends or opportunities that you see the team is in a sweet spot to jump on as well?
For us at Darktrace, we're AI cybersecurity, a leading AI cybersecurity company. So we have really exciting times for us. As the AI landscape evolves, we are facing more customer inquiries about how our AI works and how that, and in terms of AI questions, AI governance questions are popping up more frequently. And as lawyers, at Darktrace, we have the opportunity to lead the industry as AI governance professionals.
And that's a great responsibility to lead the team forward, right? So I'm curious that as two very accomplished female legal professionals leading the legal department of Darktrace, how do you feel your approach to leadership or teamwork has kind of colored the way that the whole team works together, handles legal challenges, and connects with clients?
I think a really important part for us is that in our legal team, we're all leaders. And we don't really follow that norm where you need a certain title or be a leader within the team to be a leader. I think you're a true leader if you can empower other people and to achieve more. And I think that's exactly what our team does.
Look, I agree with Keiko. And I think at the end of the day, what is the cornerstone of our team is to have a growth mindset, but also to work with human-centered values, which we're very lucky is reflected throughout Darktrace, that we can embrace these challenges with optimism. If we don't know the answer for something, we'll try our best to find an answer to it. And, just be empathetic and be a people person. Like Keiko said, we empower our colleagues. We don't want to see limitations. We want to see where they can grow. And that extends to the rest of our team, the rest of the business, and even to our customers.
What I tend to focus on is reframing questions when sales team would come and say, I can't do X, Y, and Z. That I think when people come with questions or limiting statements, I think as a legal team, we see it as an opportunity because we can then help them shift their framework or perception by asking even the simplest questions like, okay, we totally understand that you're going through a tough day, but what can we do in this situation? How can we move this forward to grow our business? It's important that as a legal team, we are also supporting the business as true business advisors. And I think we do that really well through supporting the business by allowing them to, empowering these teams to achieve more by changing their perspective.